Hey there friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Liz, my company is Hello from Liz Mathews, and I am so excited to spend some time with you today. This is a long overdue catch up. It's been months since my last video and I'm really thrilled to be here with you today. You can expect some bloopers, probably a lot of them, and a little bit of scatterbrainedness and nerves because I'm a little bit anxious coming back to you today. I have gotten out of the groove and I now have a new appreciation for when people are nervous to start their own floss tube channel. As much as I encourage them to do it and say, you'll get past it, it will get easier, man o' days, starting again after months away is intimidating. Truth be told, I did film a video the week before Christmas and it didn't go so well. And I did think to myself, I'm gonna post it, you know? It's better to come back imperfect than not at all. But it was like a little bit too off and tangenty and had some issues with a water bottle. So needless to say, you didn't see that video and I am back with you today feeling really ready and scattered. So just bear with me, give me a little grace for this video return to YouTube, and I promise that I will get my footing. This will become more natural to me and I will be back to my old ways and self very soon. I hope that you guys have been so good. I have thought of you often and missed you a lot these past couple months. I have really no major news to report. It was just kind of like a challenging couple months for me. Both physically, I've had some illnesses that I've been dealing with, and mentally, but I am in a much better space starting this new year off right. And I hope that that shows in my video content for 2023. Just yesterday, my company, which is Hello from Liz Mathews, I'm a needlework designer, cross-stitch design specifically, living and working in Maryland. My company turned 3 yesterday. Had my 3rd company anniversary. We didn't do anything to celebrate. It kind of like flew under the radar, but that's okay. I'm still super excited and proud of how far we have come in 3 years, and let me tell you, I have got some good things planned for 2023. I announced it in my newsletter, which you can sign up for at the link in the description box below, that in 2023 I plan on having virtual Hello from Liz Mathews classes, workshops. The sky is the limit. I've got some good things brewing up here and I will be sharing that with you in the coming months. And I've just set some really like stretch and happy and positive business goals for the new year that I am excited to share the news and kind of the behind the scenes with you this year. I also wanted to say that you can find all of my contact information in the description box below. I am most active on Instagram. You will also find my email, contact information, links to my shop. Everything that you need will be down there, and anything that I am most certainly going to forget in this video will be down there or linked for you as well. So I don't have a specific plan. I did this in the last video that I didn't post and it was a problem, and here I am doing the same thing for this video. I don't have notes, I don't have anything written down. I've just got a slew of stuff around me, and we're just gonna move through it, bounce back and forth. We'll see where we land. I hope that you guys had a really great Christmas. Christmas is still up in my house, although you can't see it. I'm one of those people who kind of let everything linger probably far too long. I think maybe last year or the year before, I still had things up in March because it takes me so long, and I'm usually so behind in putting up all of my decorations that I'm like, I'm not taking those down yet. I need to fully enjoy the decorations that I should have put up months ago. Anyway, you can't even see it. I don't know why I'm telling you. You might see it a little bit in my cabinet back here, but yeah, Christmas is still here. I am, I don't know what I am. Nervous? All right, let's just get into the things that I have in front of me. The first thing is something that we touched on in my last video. It is a quilt. The last video I posted on my channel was really, it was all about quilting because I was just about to leave. I was leaving the day after for the Quilters Station cross-stitch extravaganza retreat in Missouri. That was fantastic, and I have my project to show you. I want to chat with you about that, but that video is dedicated to all of my quilting plans and my hopes for things to pick up at the Quilters Station retreat and stuff like that. So I just wanted to touch on this because it's sitting right on top. This is the Fat Quarter Hourglass Remix quilt that I did alongside Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She did a full tutorial on her channel. It's still there. I think it was a 5-video tutorial series, and it was fantastic. And she inspired me to make this quilt, and I joined her. And then when I attended the retreat in Missouri, I was lucky enough to meet my long arm quilting friends and providers, the Keystone sisters. Their business is Keystone Sisters Quilting, linked below. They have done all of my long arm quilting since I dove headfirst into this hobby. And because they were going to that retreat, I was able to bring my quilt top to them and hand it off in person. And then they sent it back to me, and I was able to get this piece finished the week before Christmas. I tell you guys, everything in my life is late, behind the ball, or I've dropped the ball. It's just how 2023 wrapped up for me. I'm doing my best to catch up, but it's reality. So this only got fully finished the week before Christmas because I was like, this is a Christmas quilt. If I don't do this now, it's going to linger until next year, and I didn't want that. And I have so enjoyed having this done and on the couch. I have used it probably every day. It's funny, Joe is like, you can tell he avoids using it because it's my quilt, it's my handwork. He's very careful with it, and I'm like, use it, grab it. I want all my quilts to be functional. But if you are interested in getting the information on this pattern or working with Keystone Sisters Quilting for the long arm service, I am going to direct you to Liz's channel because she not only has the step-by-step instructions, but she also has a link for the discount for long arm quilting on your Fat Quarter Hourglass Remix Quilt Along. Man, I hope I got that right. So I'm going to stand up and show you what this looks like, only because I left you hanging with it in my last video, and then we will just keep cruising on, and I'll tell you more about the Quilters Station retreat. Okay. This is a biggie. I'm only gonna unfold it halfway because it's quite large and in charge. My quilt is done in Rifle Paper Company holiday and Christmas prints, and this is what it looks like. Let me show you the quilting if I can. The Keystone sisters did a gorgeous holly print. Oh gosh, I never know what it's called. I always say pentagraph, and it's not pentagraph, pantograph. I think that's the right word. You guys will correct me, I'm sure. And for the backing of this quilt, I chose a Rifle Paper Company Winter Scene. This is a fabric that's included in the on the front of the quilt, and it was my favorite from the line, so I thought, why not just put that on the back as well? So it's a biggie, but I absolutely love it. Cozy, cuddly, Christmas perfection. I'll be sad to put this away, but I'll pack it up with all of my Christmas stuff whenever that might happen. I do have to say, the colors are quite unusual for my decor. And we talked about this in the last video, I think. I keep picking fabrics that are like bright and bold and not necessarily my styles, but it looks so good and so cheery and so festive. So that is my Christmas quilt. What's funny about the Christmas quilt is when I was at the cross stitch extravaganza event hosted by Quilters Station, as we were talking about in September, I had the opportunity to not only meet the Keystone sisters, Jen and Kate are their names. I also got to hang out with lots of other friends, including Liz of Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. And I had seen this on her table when I was walking around, just kind of chatting with everybody, and I was like, oh, I love that fabric. That's the Rifle Paper Company fabric I used on the back of my quilt. And she was like, I made this for you. She was so sweet, made this for me, brought it to the retreat, and gifted it to me. And I have been hoarding it in my little cart of things to share on FlossTube since the retreat, and now I am very happy to be able to pull it out and use it. Liz, thank you so very much for this. It makes me so happy, and it's so cheery, and it makes me think of you. So thank you so much for sharing that gift with me. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch does have a tutorial on her YouTube channel right now going over how to make these project portfolios, I believe is what she's calling them. They are very intimidating to me, but Liz has a way of making everything seem attainable and doable, so go check that out. I might be making one alongside you, but I don't need to because I have this beauty. The Quilters Station retreat was fantastic. It was 5 cross-stitch designers plus some surprise guests who attended and all presented class projects. My mom was one of the designers, Chessie and me, Teresa Kogut, and Blackbird Designs. It was such a great couple days. It's my second time being included in the designer lineup for that retreat, and I had a great time. I had a great time the first time, and I did the second time as well. And I brought my project to show you. I know this is months later, and chances are you've already heard people talk about the class and what was presented. There are plenty of FlossTube videos if you want to know what everybody presented. I just thought I would very briefly show you what I did for my class because I was really happy with it, and I just like to share the projects that I spend time on. So my piece was based off this antique sampler. I typically like to do that when I teach at a retreat, just to ensure that there is something for everybody. Sampler lovers, smalls lovers, and you'll see what I mean as I move through what I presented for the class project. But everything was based off this piece. This is a really special antique sampler. It is undated, and my best guess would be the early 1800s. The reason there's no date and no information on this piece is because this is what's called a vanity sampler. Now, I had never known what a vanity sampler was until I heard Teresa of Kitten Stitcher talk about it in her FlossTube. And a vanity sampler simply means that any identifying name or age or date have been removed from the sampler for the sake of vanity. Oftentimes, I'm going to refer to the makers as women. They most likely were, but the women were not interested in having all of their details broadcast out on something that was maybe hung on the wall. So in many cases, their names and dates, like age, worked at age 8, they were picked out of the linen upon which they stitched their piece. What is unusual about this is that the whole section was actually cut out. There was no unpicking. There was no frogging or picking out the stitches. They full on cut that information out. You can see right there. You can tell that this was not like a recent removal of the information. It was cut out quite a while ago. And when I purchased this piece from England, the listing, it was an auction, the listing had this piece framed and it was folded. So this little section was brought up to try to cover the gap that had been cut out. I guess the sellers saw that as a flaw. However, I saw it and was like, oh, Yes, I love it. So, you know, I knew what I was looking at and knew I wanted to get my hands on it. Not a flaw at all, actually something that adds so much to its charm. On top of really, really loving all of the motifs that are in this sampler, the color palette, the butterflies, the florals, the house. I just loved everything about it and purchased this with the idea of the class project in mind. The fact that it's a vanity sampler, just like icing on the cake. I just love it. So this is what I am actually referring to as the vanity sampler, and it was charted and provided to everybody in the class. I know you guys might be wondering if this is something that will be available for general release and purchase in the future, and it will be. This will be available at market. I am having it model stitched by Stacy Walker right now, so we'll be able to see an updated version, but this is just such a special piece, and that was included in the kits that I gave everybody at the retreat. However, the class project was not the full sampler. As I mentioned, I like to provide something that is kind of more doable or finishable at a workshop or retreat so that people are walking away with a little something. So what I did, let me show you the cover of the class kit. This is what everybody got. They got this cover sheet, and what you're seeing is what the class project was. We all made little pin cushions that had excerpts from the motifs of the full sampler stitched and attached to the little pillows or pin cushions, whatever you want to call it. So everybody in the class was provided let me show you, a unstuffed, unstitched pin cushion made with 100% vintage materials that I sourced in Pennsylvania. You guys know I'm a big antiquer. I love treasure hunting and finding things, so it was really important to me that the kit include authentic antique pieces, and it did just that. So everybody was able to make a pin cushion or pillow with their choice of motifs on it. And many people did finish the pillow during the class, which made me so happy. You can see here 3 of them. There were 6 total options. Let me just really quickly show you what some of the other ones were. And then in addition to all of the supplies needed to create their pin cushion, I also included vintage, which way is up? Vintage mother of pearl buttons, some safety pins, thread drops, little note cards, just some goodies. I like to make a nice class kit that people are happy to open and go through. So I do believe that everybody from the retreat was very pleased with my class. I really, really hope so. And I hope that you like this sampler that's going to be coming to the market at market March 2023 this year. How is it already 2023? In just a couple short months. I am in full market prep here. I'm still designing. I know that there are many designers who have their stuff together, who have been ready and they are done with market. Not me. I am still designing. Just yesterday I pulled colors. I actually brought them to show you because it's one of the most pretty palettes I've seen in such a long time, and in fact I have been wanting to put it in my new Elizabeth Anakin Fitch bag, so as soon as I'm done filming I will put it in there. But here is the palette for this upcoming release. Isn't that so pretty? Ooh, this is a dangerous game I'm playing. Okay, isn't that so lovely and spring-like? I'm really excited for this new start. It had been quite a while since I stitched. After Expo, I didn't stitch for a couple months, and I missed it terribly, and I could tell that I was lacking that creative release and that therapeutic relief that comes with stitching, you know what I mean? So I have been back at it very happily lately, and I got all my stitching mojo back, man. It is here and I am here for it. So that's gonna be a new start. Probably this weekend. I'm gonna put it in my Liz bag, and you will see that coming very soon. I am putting the last stitches in another piece. I kind of debated if I wanted to share it with you or not, but I'm really sick of the worry about, like, should I not show it? Like, should it be a surprise? So this one you're gonna see. This is gonna be a market release that you are seeing early. I'm gonna take you along the entire process with me. Something new for me. I wanna share it with you. I think it'll be more joyful for all of us. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is in my Tiger Lily Designs project portfolio. I think she calls them project keepers. I have a habit of renaming something. All things, actually. Carrie makes beautiful project keepers, and I was able to score this one. It has vintage stitching on the front, and this is just right up my alley. I was really happy to get this one because sometimes Carrie sells them in her shop, which I will link below, with 2 vinyl fronts. However, this one has all of the bobbin slats, and I am a bobbinator, so I was like, add to cart, check out. She sells all of her project keepers on the 15th of every month. So like I said, I will link her below, but they are gorgeous. So this is what I have been stitching, and as I mentioned, I will be putting the last couple stitches in it this weekend for sure. Oh, I've never shown something so thoroughly for an upcoming release before. But there it is. I love it. I hope that you love it too. It's a monochromatic beauty, and you'll be able to get your hands on this or place your orders for this at market. There's more details that need to be filled in, but this is my current whip. I love a monochromatic piece, and I especially love seeing what colors and fabrics you guys choose for monochromatic pieces because they make for such a different finish and look. So that's it. I'm so happy to share that with you. I'm not going to share the details of the specific Gloriana thread that I'm using or the specific fiber on a whim linen. Just know that it is that, and you will have all of that information coming when I release the newsletter with all of the details for all of my market releases, probably 2 weeks before market. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter. The link is below. Carrie also included this little gem with my order. It's a little needle case that is in the same pattern with that same vintage stitching. It is absolutely adorable. Like, so charming. Carrie, you are the best. Thank you so much for that with my order. And it's just a happy little package. So I'll be getting back to that this afternoon, maybe while my video is uploading. You're in the same setting. I was gonna say you're in a new setting. You're not. You're in my living room, but we got a new coffee table and it's really throwing me off. So it's one of my goals for the new year, along with so many other things. I talked about it on Instagram this morning if you want to go read about it, to get a good and solid filming area established with good lighting, space, so that it's not such a task to like wheel everything out and to get set up. So high hopes for next video. Stay tuned. Please keep me to that, please. I do have a quick little freebie that I wanted to talk about because this was released to newsletter subscribers before Christmas at this point. Like I said, I am behind in everything in my life right now, but this little freebie called Holly went out in my newsletter a couple weeks ago now, and it is still available. I will put the link below if you would like to stitch it. I don't think it's necessarily a Christmas stitch. I think it's more of a winter stitch. So if you would like to get your hands on this freebie, that link is down there for you. It's really like quick to stitch up. It took me a couple hours. I've seen so many people finish it so beautifully, and just want to make sure that you know that that is available if you would like to stitch it as well. I framed it in these Tim Holtz curio frames, kind of chipboard frames that I got at Joann Fabrics. It's a package of 6. I chose my favorite and the one that I thought fit the holly swag the best, but these were quite a find and I highly recommend them. I'm excited I have 5 left, but people who stitched this finished it in all sorts of ways, so sky's the limit. Be sure to share with me how you finish it, and the details about how I did so is in the PDF printout that's available with the chart for free in my newsletter. Speaking of Hello from Liz Mathews stitches, I have 2 more that I wanted to share with you. These were both included in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazines, both the fall autumn issue and the giant winter issue that's probably on stands now. You could order both of them online or probably find them from your LNS still. So I just wanted to show you quickly what I contributed to both of the magazines. In the fall issue, we have Boo, just a sweet little pillow. And in the winter issue, we have Deck the Halls, a little mini sign. So you can find these in the magazines, which are really, really fantastic. If you've never seen one of these magazines before, I highly recommend, like I said, your LNS, your ONS, Barnes & Noble, they have these magazines, and they are chock full of really fantastic projects. So it's like a ton of bang for your buck, and you could make so many things, including these 2 from Hello from Liz Mathews. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick pause, regroup so I know what I still have to talk about with you, and be right back. All right, not too much left. Probably better that this video is on the short and sweet side so that I can, have one video under my belt after my return and kind of be a little more orderly and gathered for my next video. I have a little bit of happiness that was sent to me that I want to share, some quilting plans that you might be interested in if you're a quilter. It's a little collaboration with Liz. And then a special project that I did with Kitten Stitcher that is still available in her shop that I kind of wanted to go over and let you know that you can still get if you're interested. I did also want to let you know, and this is something that should have come at the beginning of the video, but like I said, no notes and I'm feeling rusty. My mom is Kathy Barrick. She is also a cross-stitch designer, and I are both teaching at the Hobby House Retreat in October. It's in New York, and signups are open right now. We are both very excited to share with you our prim designs that we will be featuring at the class, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew that now is the time to sign up if you're interested in attending that. I will also be the guest designer for the Anabellas Retreat this summer. Date is determined, and you can find that on the Cross Stitch Retreats website, also linked through Annabella's shop. Location to be determined, and project not to be unveiled yet. I also wanted to let you know that the registration has not opened for that yet, but I am super excited to be working with Elaine, and you can follow her on FlossTube to find out when registration for that event happens. But just as a heads up, you'll want to be quick about it when that is announced, and following her is the best way to learn that. So those are 2 major retreats that you can catch me at this year. It is hard to believe that my 2023 schedule booked, and most of 2024 is already booked. But when I can attend these retreats and hang out with you guys and get to know you in person, face to face, make connections of people that I, follow on Instagram and social media, it is the best. So I am very much looking forward to every event that we have scheduled, and I wanted to give you that information in case you would like to make it to one of those retreats. Okay, rewind. Some happy mail that I have received includes the brand new Needlework Press Book of Days calendar. You guys know I have used the Book of Days for the past couple years. I kind of fell off a little bit at the end of last year, but I have been filling in for January. I've worked on a couple different things. I need to get this baby stickered up, but I will, and I will share with you how it looks in the next video. But these books are so fun for embellishing and tracking and just kind of notating what you've worked on. I am sure to include anything like film a floss tube or design or new start, but you could put anything in here that you like, and I just love the cover. So Vicki was kind enough to send that my way, and I very much appreciate it, and will be using it and showing you my progress in each video. I also got a stack of really, really lovely linen from Rachel at Needle and Flax. She sent over this gorgeous collection. It all started because I saw Fragile online when it was first released, and I was like, I need some of that. So I have had Needle and Flax linen in the past. In fact, it's what Autumn Cloche is stitched on, and this one is just beautiful. Just beautiful. I really am a sucker for quite neutral, almost gray, white fabric, and this is right up my alley. When things don't lean green or yellow or whatever, like that is my sweet spot, and Fragile is gorgeous. So Rachel, thank you for including that, well, including these other gorgeous linens with Fragile, which I absolutely love. This is upside down, but it is Thornfield. Here is a piece of Shiloh. Look at that modeling. Totes gorge. And Hawthorn. I believe, is this what Autumn Cloche is stitched on? It might be. Look at that. So good, and I cannot wait to dig into those. It's been really hard to keep those set aside for this video, but you'll be seeing those in the future. Okay, any quilters out there up for we didn't exactly talk about this. Liz, I hope you don't mind. I'm inviting everybody to join us. But Liz of Elizabeth Ann and I Can Stitch both had this quilt from Lella Boutique. It's called Starstruck 2 on our wish list of quilts to be done in the future. So Liz and I talk, and we were both kind of like, you want to start that together? I said, yeah. She said she's going to do it in February, and I was like, I can start with you. I have no idea when I will be able to finish, but if anybody out there has been looking at this pattern and thought that you wanted to quilt it, not stitch it, please feel free to join us. We are starting in February, and I am very excited to see this quilt come together with two what I'm sure are going to be entirely different fabric selections. Liz and I we tend to gravitate towards different fabrics most of the time, so I cannot wait to see what she does and what you do if you choose to join us. It's an open invitation. I'm sure more details to come. We have a couple weeks to figure that out, but here's my stack of fabric. I talked about it in my last video back in September, so I'm not going to go into it in great detail here. I will, I think what I'm going to do is a separate quilting video, because I have all of my stash from Quilters Station that I want to go through. I've got some new quilt plans. I received some really fabulous Christmas gifts that are quilting related, so I'll do a dedicated quilt video in the near future. But for now, just know that you are officially invited to join Liz and I when we start Starstruck 2 next month, and this is what I will be doing my quilt in. Vie Boheme fabric from French General. This is everything I need, and you can kind of get a feel for what my color palette will be. So that is the plan. And then I just wanted to wrap up this video by sharing with you the details of the Reproduction sampler box that is now available for sale on the Kitten Stitcher website. I do believe Teresa's shop is on a break, a short break, because she needs a break, a minute to catch her breath, because that girl hustles. So if the shop is not open right now, you can still add it to your cart and then check out as soon as the shop has resumed shipping and checkout. Teresa's great at putting in all of the details there. But what she did was curate a reproduction sampler box. There are several kind of reproduction antique-ish designers who contributed reproduction designs. So everything is based on antique samplers, including mine, and you get all of their beautiful work in the box. So my contribution was actually 3 designs. It's a chart pack with 3 designs that are all based off of this antique sampler that I found. Let me give you like a look down it. Isn't that fantastic? These are my highlights, the bird cages and the people. Those are my favorite parts. And then there's just something really, really satisfying about a couple of those tulips. But I just loved this piece so much. Oh, and then there's that fabulous banding. So I wanted to, of course, provide the full reproduction. That is included in the chart pack. It's, I think, like a 9 or 12 page chart, something large, so you could reproduce this exactly as I found it. I kept the thread list as all of the vintage faded colors. That's what I love. I figured as if you're into the sampler reproduction box, you're okay with those colors. So that is what the reproduction chart calls for, all those muted colors. And then me being me, I tend to like to pull things out and rework things. So that is what I did. I really hope Jane doesn't mind. She lent her beautiful work to 2 other designs, which are included in the chart pack. And one is just a smaller version of the sampler. You'll notice that I pulled out some of my favorite parts that I just showed you. And then there is also an oversized, like really chunky pin drum. So these are both separate charts included in the chart pack, and you could choose whatever you like the most. Let me show you that real quick. Of course, the tulips and that sweet little couple are on there. And then here is, like, this is a big pin drum. This is not small, this is quite large. And let me just flip you around so you can see all of it. You could also do this as a framed piece. It would be a long rectangle, obviously, or you can finish it as a pin drum like Beth Wixon did for me. So there's that. I just wanted to give all of the details about this because it is still available and you might want to treat yourself at the beginning of the new year. So with that, I'm gonna catch my breath. I'm gonna get this video posted and I am gonna be back, I promise, with a little more order, some notes. We'll move through things a little more concisely, but I am truly so happy to have a video, which I feel like has gone pretty well, much better than my last attempt, and to be back with you and to be connecting with you again in the new year. I hope that you've been so well, and I will be back soon. Bye.